You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Up on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might crash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want to invite it. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job walking live before you clocking. I don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back until you start tracking in. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey.
Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in, and make sure you share the live out on your way in. And also subscribe to the Hood Table channel if you are not already subscribed. Please and thank you very much. Today I have two people here with me. One of them is going to be my co-host, which is Mark. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Mark Nichols here. Just a regular guy.
Yep, not so regular. But Mark has been with us a couple of times on the show before. We have interviewed him, and he has helped us co-host. So thank you again for joining us today, Mark. And we have a special guest that Mark and I will be interviewing that some of y'all might know very, very well. Please introduce yourself.
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear me? Uh-oh. You might have to, okay, if you can't hear me too well, you might have to back out and come back in. And you got your notes. So how you been doing, Mark, while we wait for her?
I'm good. You gonna get her back in? You gonna get her back in?
Yep, she's gonna come back in.
I'm straight, you know.
I'm in there now.
Okay, there she is.
Okay. Can you hear us okay?
I'm good there now.
All right, awesome. Thank you for joining us. Please introduce yourself.
I am Mark, so the Director of Community Partnership at Charles Drew Health Center.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on board today.
No problem. Thank you for joining us today. I had to have you on.
See, we blocked out again. I don't know why it keeps coming in and out.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. It could be the internet tripping. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But thank you for joining us today, Maurtice Ivy, who some people call a legend in the basketball world, especially in these Omaha streets.
All right.
I think Mark would agree.
My village.
1,000%.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome. I had to have you on because I had saw that you were up to be, inducted into the 2020 Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame. So kudos.
Thank you very much. It's cool. I'm excited about that. Definitely excited. That's an exciting time.
And you certainly do. You done so much over time. You certainly deserve it. The recognition. So yeah.
Thank you.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Also, me and Mark and I wanted to talk to you about your program that you have for your youth academy, which I think is really needed in our area, in our city.
Yeah.
And mainly because I know a lot of kids after this Rona,
right.
A lot of kids been teaching for a long time and they need an outlet and they need something positive.
For sure.
So yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about today, and also to promote your program. So if you can tell us a little bit about your background first, and then leading up to what made you decide to start this academy.
Yeah, well, you know what? Obviously, I'm a product of North Omaha, Nebraska. So for sure, I came through the village, and the village has been supporting me. So I think just my background in general, just in athletics and basketball in particular, I had an opportunity to play for the Hawkettes and be under Forrest Roper when I was a youngster. And so at the time, I've kind of had an opportunity to watch him, create feeder programs, full circle. And then my dad was in the community coaching youth basketball for years. And so I think anytime that you're around legendary people, for sure that kind of wears off on you. And so you want to do something next level. So as I had an opportunity, I coached college basketball for 10 years. I was at UNO for 4 years and Peru State for 6 years. And so as I was out recruiting in the Nebraska area in particular, I would come here and I felt like the talent pool of student athletes just were not at the level nationally that I had opportunity when I was recruiting. I could see other players just playing at a much higher level. And so I knew there were some gaps. Fast forward, OPS kind of came and asked me if I would, OPS and Sherwood Foundation kind of asked me if I would be interested in putting something together for our kids, because at this point, we were just tired of us getting embarrassed, as it relates to youth sports. And so I thought about it. I thought about it for probably 2.5 years before we really start moving on some things. And what I didn't want to do is create a program that we're already seeing stuff like that. I didn't want to create a program into a broken system. Mm-hmm. And so what I decided was that with the academy, I wanted to do something totally different. I wanted to do something where we're not in competition with other programs that want to compete. So we do everything in the academy we do in the off season. So when basketball season's going on, we're not doing anything. When basketball season's over, then we start training and developing. And what we don't do is we don't compete with other organizations. We just kind of come out and we do training and developing. And I think that foundational work that kids need to go to the next level, that understanding, that athletic IQ, like that's what we provide. We have classroom settings where kids go in and they have to understand the rules and the foundational work of the game of whatever sport that they're participating in. And so that's where we're different than a lot of the organizations. And then we wanted to make it where it was affordable for folks. I want our kids to be able to participate. I want to make sure that I put them around people that are knowledgeable of the sports that they're going to be participating in, and I want to make it where it's fun and they enjoy coming to practice and training every day, every week.
Okay.
So that was a lot.
Yes, it was. You got some questions, Mark?
Well, yeah. I first I have a couple comments. Actually, I think this is something that's actually needed in the community, and hopefully, it starts a new standard, even outside of Omaha. I've been doing Maurtice for quite some time. She ran. I was just out there with the Midwest Riders back in the late 70s, mid 70s, and so on and so forth. And she didn't live too far from Fontenelle Park, so we go back a long way. And to actually watch her thrive in high school, because I went to school for a little while as well, and then on to college, watching her college even while I was overseas, and then on to the WNBA. It's been, she's represented North Omaha, and I say North Omaha very well as a Husker, and throughout her whole career, even in coaching. The one thing that I wanted to ask, and I'm hoping that others have an opportunity to hear, when you talk about the classroom setting, are we looking at working with the entire individual or just the sport itself? And I think we're getting closer to the screen, so maybe I need to turn up my mic a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? Can
you hear me?
My volume is really low, so I had somebody trying to call in, and so it affected the volume of the call. Okay. Actually, my parents were trying to call in.
Oh, well, I'll ask it again. What I was saying, you said you guys had classrooms. And one of the things that you focus on in the classroom, is it just basketball related, or is it related to the student as well as the athlete?
Right. You know what? I mean, it's important that, we help develop the whole complete person. right? I mean, because what we realize is that those tools that we get as relates to athletics, I mean, are so useful, helpful, and parallel with how we function in our day-to-day life. I mean, so if you've had an opportunity to participate in athletics in any form, you know that the things that you've learned, I mean, are things that you use as it relates to real life setting. I mean, you got to get up and you go practice. That going up every single day. That's a discipline, right? And so we are definitely trying to make sure that we develop the whole entire student athlete. But it's we're just one piece of the puzzle. I mean, it is really going to be about how we kind of embrace each other as a village to put this whole package together so that we can be what we need to be for our kids moving forward.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. I'm glad you mentioned that because of the fact I have two sons who played basketball from a very young age, and they played like all summer. Like the household rule was you had to play something every quarter of every year. I don't care if it was football, basketball, badminton, golf, swimming. You just had to be active all year round. So a lot of things I noticed was with these leagues, the youth leagues, they did focus a lot on the talent and sculpting them to be great players. But a lot of times these kids had bad grades. They were getting kicked out of school. I mean, just doing all kind of stuff. And I would like punish my own kids if they were having failing grades. And I had a lot of pressure from the coaches to let them play anyway. So have you ever experienced anything like that with, kids in your league?
Well, you know what? We just wrote. What's that?
Oh, I'm saying dealing with having issues with academically and trying, like you just said, you're trying to make sure that you have them in classes to help them academically as well and, talent wise as well. So how do you go about that if you have students or kids that aren't doing so well academically?
Well, I mean, first of all, just so I can put this out there, we just rolled out in February. So we started our volleyball program in February. So I mean, we are relatively new coming out the gate. As we started, so we were probably right now, currently we're in our 7th week of volleyball program, and we've continued after COVID. We just had to kind of do some creative things with it. But and during our basketball season, obviously it was canceled due to the COVID crisis. But to your question is that definitely, I think that when you talk about a student athlete, I mean, the word student comes first before athlete, right? And so, I mean, you can't do anything academically if you don't develop your student to be an athlete, right? So that is like first and foremost. And so while I get the fact that, we want to win, at the end of the day, what happens is, and we can look at the fruits of our labor. How many of our kids over the last 10 years, 15, 20 years have transitioned to the next level out of the state of Nebraska and did some things at a high level? And so we got to start asking ourselves, if our infrastructure is set up the way and designed to where we are allowing our kids to be successful. And I would say that we have some cracks in our system and we need to reevaluate that. So definitely you're going to have parents that, focus on that because they're thinking, this might be my way out. This might be a better life for my kid. And I understand that, right? For sure. But for sure, there's going to be life after sports. And we got to make sure that we keep that in mind too.
Okay. You got anything, Mark?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Do you hear Mark?
Can you hear me?
Not really.
Really?
Now we can.
How about now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Perfect.
Okay, maybe I was a little bit too far away from the phone, or maybe it's on my watch. I got one of those watches you can talk into. Okay. But again, I had an opportunity to see how you performed in your life and how you navigated you know, your journey. One of the things that I'm wondering is along that way, along that path, are you guys looking also? Because I understand, or I think I understand, that this is all female, correct?
This is what?
Is this all? It's all females, right? All female academy.
Yeah, we're doing, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're doing 4th through 6th grade girls. And so, yeah, we're doing all females right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, that I think is great. One of the things that when I was coaching, I concentrated a lot on girls because there's a lot of things that were afforded to them that I think a lot of people weren't aware of at that time, especially when we started talking about scholarships and opportunities at different levels for school. And so I'm hoping that one of the things that will come out of this is that people will hear what you're saying with respect to the infrastructure and also understand that they have a responsibility to their student, capital student athletes, as well as a program such as yours. I'm so excited to come by and see what you guys are doing the next time I get an opportunity to come home. So kind of, can you kind of tell us about that? That's what I would,
I lost him.
pictures or
I
anything
can't
like
hear
that.
you.
So can you paint one for us?
Oh, somebody said thank you for joining us, Miss Ivy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How was that?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him. He was asking, to come when he comes back in the city
Mm-hmm.
to come visit. I mean, absolutely. What I really want to do is I hope that we are creating a template, for what youth sports needs to look like moving forward. And the focus is not about financial gain. It's about educating and teaching, and so and when we get to that space and we make sure that we start taking care of our kids at the level that we need to, then I think we'll start seeing the fruits of our labor the way that we want to. And so it's our time now, you guys. I mean, we are the game changers of our community, and it's our time to step up and make a difference.
Yes, I agree. And you're right about the talent here. Like it's so many kids here that want a career in basketball or football or whatever, and we only see like a few ever so often, if that, make it to a higher level. I mean, and when I say make it, I mean past college. And college is
Right.
good. College is good because you need that education. But
Yeah.
past that level in the last, I don't know, 10 years, I think I know maybe 5 that I know personally. It could be more than that have made
Right.
it to the NBA or the WNBA or anything like that. So I'm very looking forward to what you're gonna do or what difference that you
Yeah,
can bring to the table with
for
with
sure.
yes.
Well, you know what? I mean, and my thing is that if you get an opportunity to go play college sports,
Mhm.
financially, I mean, economically, from a social economic standpoint, is a game changer because we eat different if you have your degree. If you leverage it and use it the way that you want to. And so, I mean, going to play professional sports, I mean, that's every kid's dream, that has competed. But the reality of it is that you want to let the young you take care of the old you. And that's a quote from my aunt. And that's making sure that we put some things in place. I mean, so if we can get to the next level to play college sports, that could potentially be a game changer for you. And so you leverage those opportunities. I mean, the pros, hey, yeah, great, but get to college. I
Right.
mean, yeah, change how you eat.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I'm gonna have to start using that. You gotta
Yeah, that's a quote
the
from.
young you takes care of the old you. I've never heard that.
That's a right. Yeah, that's a quote from my
I
aunt.
wrote it down.
Yeah, that's a quote from my aunt. She
He
told me
said,
that, and I was like, that resonated. That's a good thing, right? That's
"Yeah,
why I said it. That's why I put it out there.
yeah, yeah." I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna keep that back there
Yeah,
in my mind. But yeah, so Mark said he gonna write it down.
Yeah, I
yeah,
wrote it down.
that's a
I,
good thing.
I
Yeah,
think this is so great. Um, to have this opportunity for you guys to be doing this, and hopefully the fruits of your labor you're going to see immensely within the next few years. And just by being a part of a program like this is a game changer itself. Even if you don't go on to the next level,
hey Mark, are you on
your way.
Can you
speakerphone?
hear?
Yeah,
Are you
can
on
you not
are you
hear me?
Can
are
you
you on
hear?
speakerphone?
So I'm out. I can't hear you guys again.
Hey, take it off.
Man, I don't know what's going on with mine.
Are,
Man,
are you on?
Take it off.
let me leave and come back in.
No, it's. I think it's
No,
Mark.
no, no, wait.
Yeah, take it off speakerphone.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. I think, were you on speaker before?
Well, I didn't have my earpiece in.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so what I did was I put my earpiece in, and the microphone is going to be much closer
I
to me.
don't.
I don't know
Yeah, I
what's
don't.
going on with today. I don't know.
Maybe it's just my
I
fault.
don't worry about it.
Yeah,
We'll
because I
get
got it.
through it.
This is a new one.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a new phone. So so are you where are you guys located at? If you don't mind me asking, Maurtice.
You know what? So the good thing about this is like 21st century stuff. What I realize is that you don't have to have a brick and mortar, to be effective. And so what we've been fortunate enough to do is that we first of all I have an awesome board. And I have a couple. Well, I have a couple people. Steve Eubanks and Dr. Jerry Barty are both on our board, and so being able to have an opportunity from time to time to access OPS schools, so we get in there. So we were at Morse Middle School for volleyball, and then we also partnered with Girls Inc. And so we use those two facilities for our volleyball sessions. And so we're going to do ultimately, I mean, if we talk about big picture stuff, ultimately what we'd like to do is potentially build a facility.
Mhm.
And so, and I think that North Omaha is well overdue to have some type of youth academy facility where we can kind of filter and develop our student athletes. And so it's I mean, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years,
Yeah.
that's definitely big picture stuff. But right now, what we're doing is, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to access the Omaha Public Schools and go in there and do our training and development in those facilities.
That's what's up. What's up?
Mhm.
Hey, Pastor Roller saying I see my pastor in the chat watching. That's wonderful because I mean, literally, we don't have anything like that in North Omaha. I mean, we do have like, the YMCA, and they do have sports programs, and I love the YMCA, so shout out to them. But as far as something that you're talking about, the only sports academy here is the one out there on 120th, right?
And they moved, so I think they're in Elkhorn now. Yeah.
Elkhorn?
If we're thinking about the same, I think if we're thinking about the same, and then they provide something different than us. So
Yeah.
we want a school. We want to build a sports academy. I mean, academy is different than a league.
Yeah,
Academy is somewhere like where you go into and you get some knowledge. I mean, you develop your sports IQ. And so we want that's what we're developing right now. And as we grow and we get bigger, I think that we will need a facility to accommodate what it is that we want to do. So I'm excited about the opportunity. I mean, the village has embraced me. I have a great group of individuals that have came on board that believe in the vision that I've talked about. And so just in a really good space right now, and looking forward to kind of rolling some things out for our community, so we can be excited about what our babies are doing for next level as it relates to athletics.
Right. And we are very excited about it too. And also as proud as you and Mr. Barty. Tell him I said hi. He was the
Man, no
principal.
doubt.
He was our principal at South High when I used to go to South.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you got a
Eagles
question.
in the house.
Yes. You got a question from the chat. They said, is this a year-round program or something seasonal?
So we'll be doing it all year, but we're going to be doing it seasonal. So like I was talking about at the beginning of it, we do everything in the off season. So when volleyball season's going on, then we're not training. When basketball season's going on, we're not training. When the season's over with, that's when we start training and developing. And so because one of the reasons why we did that is that I don't want to be in direct competition if kids want to participate in those leagues or do something in their schools. But the other piece is that before you go, you want to make sure that you have some tools in your toolkit, your toolbox, so that you can go out there and compete at a high level as well.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for the question. Anybody else have any more questions? Feel free to direct them to Maurtice Ivy. Hey, Deanna. My pastor said, praying that God will enlarge your territory.
Man, thank you, Pastor Rollison. My parents go to his church, so Greater New Hope in the house.
Yes, Greater New Hope in the house.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
and everybody, make sure you like the video and share the video. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, this is such a great topic of discussion. I forgot. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, got you.
Is that better? Okay, because I have to kind of get closer when I ask. As you know, I had a group or an organization of my own, and we've kind of it's kind of the same. We had schools, classroom time, helping kids with the ACT and SAT scores to ensure that they could get into college. And we called it a college readiness program. Do you envision anything like that in your program as you progress and get that brick and mortar? And then I'm going to ask another dumb question. Are you going to be looking for sponsorships and things of that nature so that those of us who want to give back to our community can do so? So those are some of the things that I would love to ask.
Great question. So, you know what I realize is that I think, I want to do so many different things, but I think that, our focus right now is the 4th through 6th grade girls. And I want to make sure that we do that at a high level and we work out all the tweaks and kinks to make sure that program and those programs run at a super high level. And I think there are other people that are in the community. They do some levels of that. And so that's really not going to be in our wheelhouse, to do, just because I feel like I said, I think if you start spreading yourself too thin, trying to be everything to everybody, you miss what your whole focus was initially. And so our focus is 4th through 6th grade girls. Our sports will be parallel with the middle schools out of OPS. So we'll do volleyball, basketball, track and field, and soccer will be our primary sports. And so that'll be our focus. And so as far as the college prep and college readiness piece, definitely I know there's some programs that are out there that provide those services already. And so we will definitely try to be a resource to connect our kids as they go to the next level with those different programs. But right now our focus is, that train and development piece. And your second question as relates to, sponsors. Again, what we realized, and I realized a long time ago, is that this is not about Maurtice. This is about our village. And so as long as we kind of come together and we're supporting each other, I've just been fortunate enough and blessed enough where God is giving me that platform to where he's using me to do his work. And so that's what I plan on doing, is making sure that I do it and I do it well and at a high level. And so definitely, Mark, if you have some that you want to bring to the table, I'm open. all day, every day. And so, like I said, I don't have all the answers, but for sure I have a vision as far as what I want to do with this program and how I want to move it in our community.
Well, I'm glad he asked you those questions, because one of my questions was going to be, because I know your background. I don't know all your records and all that in the WNBA and all that kind of stuff, but I know a little bit about your background. So to hear that you have this youth academy, I'm sure a lot of people probably would love to get their children involved in your program. So I was going to ask you, but you hit on it a little bit. What made you decide of those years, like
That age group?
Yeah. Besides,
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah. So what happened was that I really actually kind of struggled with that. I thought I was with that age group of kids. And so what we realized is, and my board kind of, and just in talking with OPS and some of the needs that were there, what we realized is that that 4th through 6th grade group of kids, there's no programming. You can't compete competitively in Omaha Public Schools at that age group. And so there's a gap of training and developing with that particular age group. But then they go to middle school, which is 7th and 8th grade, and they really had limited touches in their sports. And so then they compete on the 7th and 8th grade level, and then they don't compete at a really high level, a lot of young girls. And that affects our confidence. Like, I mean, if you keep getting beat down, you're going out there and you're not being successful, after a while, it starts affecting who you are, right? And so we're getting ready to shift the game a little bit. And so that's really reason why we decided to kind of go in that direction.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure Mark will give you any ideas that he has, because you guys, I mean, the same thing that you're trying to do with your community, Mark did, with his, with the sports and the track world and everything. And
Absolutely.
He had a lot of people go on to play in the, the NFL, the pros, track stars and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe y'all can
Me and Mark, we go back a long way, right? I mean, we grew up together. So, so definitely, I think the training that I got is the same coaches that he got. And so that's the fruits of those coaches' labor, right? And I mean, so, what we're doing is just doing what we seen when we were growing up together. So, I mean, kudos to Mark. And I mean, for sure, he knows that I'm going to be an ally for him, just like he's one for me.
Yeah. Yep, it takes a village.
No doubt.
Well, just in case Mark wants to say something else, go ahead.
I was when she was talking, I was thinking about all those days with Mr. Mayhew and some of the others, and how you're getting ready to make this huge difference. I'm elated when I first saw that. You were doing something in the city, and especially around young ladies. And then to hear what you just said, the reason behind the 6th grade through 4th grade, that gap, or bridging that gap. So I think that this is something that city
kind of breaking up.
Really?
You kind of breaking up. I'm gonna wait till he come back, because I got another question for you. What was I going to ask? Okay. As far as like your process on entering the program, what all do people have to do? Like, are there so many spots that you're going to have available, like each semester? Are you going to like allow like so many kids in every quarter, every semester? Is there anything special that people have to do to become a part of the academy?
Well, I mean, we will limit registration. I think one is because we want to try to make sure from a growth standpoint, we kind of control that. I don't want us to have an influx of kids that come into the program and, we're not organized or set up to be able to manage that. And so Right now with volleyball, we had goals of just having 60 kids for volleyball. We ended up for our first time out having 40 kids sign up for our volleyball program, and it was lovely. I mean, I was like, just to go in there and see all those kids in there and some of the parents. I mean, and I wish I had I got some more information out there so my parents could kind of get online, our volleyball parents could get online and talk to you about their experience. I mean, because that's who you really want to hear from is the kids and the people that are already in the program. And for basketball, we were going to go with 60 kids as well. And then the next session we would probably add maybe another 20. And then but I think at that way you can kind of control your growth. Right. And that was important, especially because we were new coming out of the gate. We wanted to make sure that, you know, our infrastructure and our foundation solid. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to take our time, you know, just to do it right. We're going to take our time. So not having to rush, you know, but want to make sure for me, it's about quality and not quantity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things one of our guests said, which was Pastor Rosen, was you have to work in stages. So that you just hit that right on the head right there. Something else I was going to say was, as far as like to join the academy, like is there like a particular set rate, or are there like scholarships, or are there like sponsorships, or?
Yeah, all of those things. So for volleyball, it was $150. For basketball, it's $150. And so, but the gear that our kids received in our volleyball program is probably the equivalent to what they would receive in a $5,000 to $10,000 program that they were paying $5,000 to $10,000 for. And so we made sure that they had all the gear to go out and be effective. I mean, one of the things, if nothing else, you got to know what type of equipment you need to wear in sports. And so we bought them shoes. Mm-hmm. They had book bags, gears, socks. I mean, everything that they needed, they had those when they transitioned on the volleyball. And so for basketball, we'll make sure that they're uniformed up. And that's really not my focus. You know, the focus is just to making sure that, you know, we develop and train student athletes, and they have an understanding and an IQ of that sport when they transition to the next level. I mean, the gear is a part of it, but that's really not my primary focus.
Right. But I think sometimes the gear does affect the performance.
No, I don't think it affects it. I think that we've gotten conditioned. And our kids think that that's a part of that's a part of the process. Like I gotta look good, but at the end of the day, like, no, you gotta work hard. Right. That's what you gotta do. You gotta work hard. You know, I mean, and then when you work hard, all those other things kind of fall in place.
Yeah, so true.
That's my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, what were you talking about, Mark, before you had to step out for a second?
Man, I can't even remember. I'm so mad right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Yeah, so mad.
He breaking up again, man.
Hard to get back in, but
I hear you.
Louder. Okay, so that's better now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry about that. So anyway, what I was saying that there's a lot of our track meets that are on, and I'm hoping that they have some questions for you because, you know, I'm looking at, and one of the things I wanted to say, the reason why I asked about sponsorships and things of that nature to help those kids out is because those of us who can't, sometimes we can another way.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
So, you know, I would like to, you know, start that by saying, you know, to at some point when you get to where you're able to accept donations, I would really love to give help in that manner, if nothing else.
Appreciate
and
that,
that's
man.
where
I really do.
Yeah, because I think it takes us to understand that we need to that we have to it just doesn't happen through osmosis. It's an effort by all of us doing what we can, when we can, how we can, to support those who are in the fight or on the ground floor. So I wanted to make sure that we got some of our classmates, track mates, and such on this call so they could see some of the great things that you're.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, you
I
know
just
what?
turned
I
on
mean,
my light. I was just
yeah.
talking. So yeah, I just want to make sure that that we, that we're supporting you from the outside in as well. So
Thank you very much. I
um,
appreciate that.
I think that's all I had it for that part. And I
Okay.
don't want to take up all the time talking, so I apologize.
Nah.
Okay, you fine. But yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. As far as like supporting, when there's good things going on in the community, you have to support them because people always talking about ain't nothing going on, ain't nothing positive, ain't nothing, So when it happens, we have to make sure it grows and it becomes fruitful. And like you said, with the children, that age bracket, 4th to 6th grade, it's kind of like school. When you get them at a really, really young age, they're more impressionable. And
Absolutely.
you kind of craft and mold and all that
Absolutely.
kind of stuff, and then send them off.
There you go. You got blank canvas, right? We get a blank canvas, and so you
Yep.
get to work on. I mean, then you get to develop your art,
Yep.
on a blank canvas. And so, yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm excited about just the opportunity as far as funding. We Sherwood is our primary source of funding, and so they've been wonderful in supporting that vision. And like I said, OPS came in as a part, but I mean, for sure, as many folks that as we can get in the community support and buy into, because then it becomes not about Ivy League, it
Right.
becomes about our village
Right.
and our community. And I mean, at the end of really what it needs to be about. But the other piece is, you guys, is that we're not going to be for everybody, right? We're not going to be for everybody. And so just me on a personal tip, I mean, I want people in the program that are, are going to be respectful for what it is that we're trying to do.
Right.
And we're not going to be set up and designed for everybody, and the negativity and all that type of stuff. Like, that's not what we're going to have filtering in and out of our program. We want kids that want to be there and parents that want to support us working with their kids. And if that's, not the space that they're in, then there's lots of other programs that are out there, and I'd encourage them to connect with those programs, those different programs.
Yep, absolutely. And you have somebody in the chat, Kathy Harris. She says she can sponsor us a track girl.
That's lovely. When we get to track, that Kathy Harris was man, that just to watch her and be around her, that was she was a beast mode in track, right? Yep. So we got to watch her, and she motivated us to be good because we watched her when we were younger growing up. And so definitely that's our village again. There we are. We popping up everywhere. The village is everywhere.
She said back in the day, they didn't have no fancy gear and all that kind of stuff.
We didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get it. We understand that.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys are going to do great. Again, I'm so happy for you. Everything that you've done, like everything you accomplished, all your accolades. I mean, a lot of people, when it comes to like girls in the sports world from here, a lot of them look up to you because
thank you.
You were doing the thing.
Thank you.
And then you went on to play pro. And now you got now as far as the Nebraska, athletic hall, did that already happen? Or is that coming up? Because I know with the Rona going around and
right. Yeah. So I got a call maybe about 3 weeks ago from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Mm-hmm. And the women's head basketball coach, Amy Williams, called and basically was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you," and said, "Hey, we are going to induct you into the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Hall of Fame." And so, I mean, definitely, that's an honor and a blessing. And I think that, what I realized about this journey is that the stuff that I've been passionate about, the stuff that I love to do, it's come full circle. And the byproduct of me just loving what I do is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I think, being able to go into the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Hall of Fame as an athlete just kind of solidifies, my career, and I'm full circle now, so definitely thankful for the opportunity to go up in there. And I'm going in with a great class, of people. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that is amazing. And Pastor Rosen said they will sponsor not one, but they will sponsor.
Man, look at there. Look at you, Pastor. Thank you. That's excellent. I'll be reaching out. I gotta start writing this stuff down. Kathy got one.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Because what I'm gonna do, after this video wraps and after it finishes processing, I'm gonna have you send me your information. I probably can get it all the information off your Academy page, right?
Yep.
Phone number, email, website, absolutely, and all that. So I'm gonna put all that information on there. So every time somebody watches this video, they'll have your contact information.
Thank you very much.
And the hood table, what we do on our like Facebook and IG and Twitter, we do support the local talent, the local businesses, establishments, whether it's a church, whether it's a talent show, whether it's a hair salon sale.
Okay.
Anybody could send us a brochure or a flyer, and we'll post it on our site. So we don't, a lot of people, they, charge and all this kind of stuff. I truly believe in supporting my community. So whenever anybody sends anything to me, so whether you having a grand opening or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Feel free to send information. We'll post it on all our websites, on our links and everything, because again, I'm all about the community.
That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Thank you for giving me this platform.
You're welcome. And hopefully you'll get a lot of other sponsors out there. And when it comes time for that to come around, and if you're doing like fundraisers or anything like that, just let us know.
We'll do that. Absolutely.
Yep. Anything else, Mark, before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to thank both of you guys for allowing me to sit in and talk with you guys and shoot the breeze and relive some of those old days. Off the boulevard, off Fountain Park, man, over at Tech High School running, and then over Central, and looking at some of the old videos that I've seen over Graham's house. And I even had an opportunity not so long ago. My granddaughter and I went out to Mallory's house to deliver her some cookies, and your dad was out there. We sat in the
very nice.
Had a good time, and then he made some hog head cheese for.
Oh no, he did not.
Yes, he did, and took it to him.
See, you know what? I'm gonna have to call them because I'm trying to get them to change that diet a little bit, man.
Hey, wait, that was 2 years ago, though.
Okay, all right.
It was 2 years ago. It was a while back, but and just the connections that we had, especially with your nephews and seeing them at track meets here in the city and running into Mallory. If this is just, when you say it comes back to full circle, it really does come back to full circle. If I couldn't leave you with anything else, it's just that, take that blessing and pass it on to someone else that you've had all your life, in your parents, and the love that they show you and the support they've been able to give you. That's cool. That's about it. I'm praying that it goes well, and God opens up so many doors for you that you can't even receive those blessings that are going to
Man, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And ditto, back at you.
No problem. We got your back. We got your back. As the village, we have your back. So
appreciate my village. I love my village.
Yes, we are definitely cheering and rooting for you and everything, all your endeavors. So again, feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you want to come on here and talk about something with the programs or anything, feel free. And I want to thank you and Mark for joining us tonight. And again, I'm gonna put all your contact information on the video after I finish editing and everything. So you might be hearing from some folks.
You know what? I hope so. I appreciate this opportunity. I do. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Thank you. Well, on that
Yep.
note, everybody is saying thank you. The panel gave some great information. Great job. They love it. Hey, Husker Chick. Is that Lisa, my cousin? Yeah, so everybody, make sure you like the video again, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely contact Maurtice Ivy regarding to anything that she has going on with her sports academy. If you got some kids you want to send her way or any questions you want to ask. All right?
All right.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Deuces.
Stay blessed. We out.
Peace.
Peace.
See ya.